Welcome into Not Another Football Show, and if you haven't already guessed, this is going to be a holiday edition show, specifically probably for the ladies, because let's be honest, Taylor I'm bringing in right now, let's be honest, like, the guys are not going to take advantage of these holiday specials, like the Black Friday sales, the Cyber Monday sales. The guys always wait till the last minute, so we're probably only speaking to the ladies here with this edition. And if you don't,
they have no idea what's going on.
Exactly.
The guys have no idea.
No idea. They probably don't even know that everything's, like, half off everywhere. But Taylor Begley, she was in our pilot episode of Not Another Football Show. If you don't know her, Taylor, introduce yourself a little bit.
Hi, Tamara. I am a freelance sports reporter right now. I was a sports reporter covering the Patriots for several years back in the day with you, Tamara, and that's how we know each other. But yeah, I've been working in sports since like 2018, 2019. So it's been a good bit of years. But I've been a football fan my entire life and also always a fan of a good deal. So I'm very excited to merge the two and chat with you today.
Black Friday is just a great holiday, which now it's kind of expanded to there's like early Black Friday deals, there's actual deals on Black Friday, there's Cyber Monday. Some stores even make a full week, 2 weeks of it, which is incredible that you don't have to wait for one day to do it. You have multiple options. And so I thought that we should start with one of the better deals, which is bundle and save. And if you're a guy watching this, you're like, what's bundle and save? This is when you buy multiple, and the more you buy, the more you save. So either buy one, get one half off, buy two, get the third 40% off, buy one, get one free. I could go on for days. Taylor knows what I'm talking about. Like, it only makes sense for if you're a girl, or get 2 for $7. You get the point by now.
Exactly.
So bringing in the NFL in this bundle and save, I'm looking for, Taylor, a player who you get the most bang for your buck. So they're not just out there can do one thing, but they could do multiple things. And so for me, mine's kind of out of left field, to be honest. Like, he can do multiple things if you ask for a trick play. So this is going to be Jameis Winston. Jameis Winston is by far my favorite player. I mean, he may not get you the W, but you're going to be entertained watching him. And recently we got to see him not only be involved in a trick play where he was the quarterback throwing a touchdown, but then we also saw him get a receiving touchdown as a wide receiver. So, like, it was just incredible to just see him, like, play quarterback and receiver and also get his pregame speeches and all the content leading up all week long where he was singing at his press conferences. Like, you get like a three-way bundle deal. You get the personality. He's out there playing wide receiver. He was out there playing quarterback. Like, you just get everything with him. You might not get the win, but you get a good time.
You might not get the win.
You might not get the win, but you're going to get a good time. And so for me, that's a great deal. That's
what we care about. I love this guy. And honestly, there's not many things that I love more than a quarterback that's playing with house money. And that is what a guy like Jameis Winston is doing. Like, he's been in the league. He's solidified himself as a quarterback, NFL level quarterback, obviously not a starter, but he's solidified his spot on an NFL roster for what he can contribute to a team. And so he's just out there balling, like having fun. If you get the win, it's a perk, but it like alleviates almost like the pressure. I mean, of course, there's always pressure on players in the NFL, of course, but there's something about a quarterback that's playing with house money. Like, they've done enough to keep their job, but they haven't done so much that they've like gotten that external pressure of like Super Bowl or bust on their back. Yeah. And they're just like living. They're having fun. They're doing their thing. They're entertaining. And that's exactly what Jameis Winston is, both on the field and, like you mentioned, off the field as well. I mean, the bundle and save, we see this. This was what we were all calling for in the draft with, Travis Hunter. You're getting 2 players for 1 draft pick, a complete bundle and save deal, but obviously he's injured. So I'm going to go with a Patriot that we know, Marcus Jones. And the Patriots have they've been doing this for years. They try to take a player and turn them into as much as they can. Like you saw it with, Julian Edelman coming in as a quarterback, and then he becomes a return specialist, a wide receiver. He's out there, throwing passes for trick plays. But you got Marcus Jones, who's able to play on every single side of the ball. He's able to be a weapon on the offense if they need to. He's able to play on special teams. He's able to play on defense. And I think that the Patriots love him for that.
Absolutely. I'm a huge Marcus Jones fan. I mean, literally, he's such a valuable weapon. I mean, even like, I think was it last year, year before? One of those years where you might even just see him for one play on offense as a wide receiver, it's an instant spark because the other team doesn't see it coming. But my one problem, though, with him, you know, maybe playing wide receiver, defensive back, and out there for special teams is you can risk injury like what happened with Travis Hunter. And I feel like you increase the chances of getting hurt, and Marcus Jones actually just extended his contract with the Patriots, which is awesome. That proves how valuable he is, but it does open you up for more injury. But that's definitely one of my favorite Bill Belichick drafts. Like, that's a steal right there. Like, he was not like a first round pick or anything like that, but he's so valuable in what he brings to the team, and he's a good kid. Like, no problems at all either.
Such a nice guy. Yeah,
kind of like
totally.
Jameis Winston, like, you know, it's great entertainment. Like, when you're down against the Jets and you need a touchdown from somebody, there's Marcus Jones. I don't know if they have, like, walk-off touchdowns, but that walk-off touchdown that he had against the Jets to win,
gosh.
What was that? 3 years ago? 2 years ago? Like, I'll never forget that. And it's like, it's players like Marcus Jones. That's a good bundle and save, Taylor. So I really like it.
The funniest thing about that touchdown is when I was working, obviously covering the Patriots at the time, and we would record the game so that we could tell the highlights and everything. And I remember our production people recorded it in Spanish. They recorded the Spanish broadcast. So all you hear is just, adios. As Marcus Jones is running the ball down the field, they win the game. I will never forget that. Underneath, I brought all the levels down. It was just like adios screaming. It was like a soccer broadcast.
I love it.
So funny.
I love it.
But yeah, I'll never forget that.
Those are incredible. And you don't really see those types of players often. And I mean, I'm trying to think of like other kind of three-way players, like the Travis Hunters, the Marcus Jones. Like, it's just so rare. And I'm interested to see, like, I think the next storyline for Travis Hunter was when he comes back, are you going to play him at both positions, or are you going to be more careful? Because I was wondering if he was going to end up being NFL Rookie of the Year because of what he was doing out there. But now we obviously won't get to see him the rest of the season. So now next year it's like, do you limit him? Do you pick a side? I'm just curious to see where the Jaguars go next with that.
Yeah, that is the struggle with someone like that. I mean, you could also go back to like the Taysom Hill days of the Saints. Not as much of, you know, the same as Travis Hunter or Marcus Jones, but, you know, he could be a quarterback if you needed him to be. He was, you know, this trick play player that you can kind of plug in, and when he was on the field, you had no idea what they were going to do. And it's so cool the way that an offensive coordinator, coach, you know, offensive coaches can really just challenge a defense and do some really cool stuff when you have a player that's that dynamic. And obviously it's beneficial to the team just from a cost standpoint if you're getting like one player for multiple different roles. Just kind of what we're talking about here with our bundle and save. So.
And it's weird. You can even put the new aged quarterback in that too with like bundle and save, because like for Lamar Jackson, for example, you have to prepare for a lot of different things. Obviously, Derrick Henry too is a problem, but like for Lamar, it's like you have to prepare for him to use his legs and you have to prepare for him to throw. Whereas like with Tom Brady, he is likely not going to scramble, which is fine because, hey, he is cooking out there, like slicing up defenses. That's fine.
Right.
But when it comes to Lamar, you have a lot more to prepare for. Jalen Hurts probably a lot more to prepare for. Shador now that's you know playing in NFL games, like a lot more to prepare for. So there you can kind of maybe inch them into the bundle and save too.
Yeah, and I think especially when you have a guy that their legs, it's not everything about their game, you know? I think there are some quarterbacks that come through because, you know, the athletic quarterback has become the norm in the NFL now. You have guys that are super athletic and great with their legs, but they aren't as strong of a pure quarterback. Like a Tom Brady, which obviously you don't want to compare anyone to a Tom Brady, but like the pocket passer style where it's like you're slicing up the defense, you're using a lot of like your mental tools and then also just like your precision with your passing and everything compared to like the athleticism. But you need to be able to have both in order to be that true like double threat, that dual threat. But you know, you see it with a lot of the quarterbacks, of course, that you have to prepare for multiple different things, but it makes it even harder and even more of a bundle and save when they're very high caliber in both of those areas as a threat quarterback.
It is. And just like with Travis Hunter and Marcus Jones, you still have to worry about injury because you don't want your quarterback constantly, running, and that puts him in harm's way because he has more chance to be tackled, head-to-head tackles, concussions, things like that when they're constantly running the football. So you don't want that either. But Taylor and I will be back with more holiday specials. This one, people don't take advantage of as much as they should, so stick around to see what it is. And welcome back to Not Another Football Show. We've been talking holiday specials and NFL teams. The open box special, I see it when you're going on like Best Buy or Walmart, probably Target too, but you go in there and you'll see the price for the item, say a MacBook, for example, and it might say $1,300. But then you might see another option for open box, and it might be $1,100, knocking $200 off because someone has purchased it, opened it, maybe tried it, it wasn't what they thought, and they returned it. So it's basically in good condition, almost perfect condition, but the box is open. So that's the discount you're getting because it's already been opened, someone's already touched it, etc. But it still works like new. And when I look at the NFL right now, when I think of an open box special, I'm going Mac Jones because when I look at the 49ers, they're 8-4 right now. And they're 8-4 right now because of Mac Jones. The way he stood in for Brock Purdy when he was dealing with his toe injury, he was 5-3 as a starter. And that's why it's so important to have a good backup and not just anybody as your backup, but someone who actually fits your system and can fill in when you need them to, because I'm sure the 49ers, when they were in training camp, didn't expect to use Mac Jones. They expected to use Brock Purdy. But they're lucky that they signed him in the offseason because this has proven to be like a valuable asset to them. Like open box special. Mac Jones didn't work out at the Patriots. He went on to the Jags, was Trevor Lawrence's backup. And guess what? He got some wins for them. And now because of him, they're sitting here at 8-4, still have a chance to, make some noise in the playoffs as long as they keep winning and Brock Purdy figures things out. But without Mac Jones, they might be in a different situation. They might be 3-8. They might be 2-10. You never know. And so this is a great open box special, and I hope this inspires everyone at home to take advantage of those open box specials. When you see them, don't turn your nose up at them. Like, it could still be a good deal.
Yeah, for sure. And I think it all comes down to the system that you go into. Like you saw it for years with the Patriots where, because they had such a solid foundation and system there with Bill Belichick and for a long time, obviously now again, Josh McDaniels as offensive coordinator, but where they've had to throw other quarterbacks in and they've been able to like kind of plug and play. Obviously nobody's Tom Brady again. I don't know how many times I'm going to say it, but there is that structure there. And so it's really cool whenever you see a quarterback go to a place where they're set up to succeed. And we know Mac Jones during his time with the Patriots was not set up to succeed in the same way that Drake May is set up to succeed right now with the Patriots. So he deserved another chance. And I think you see that also with other quarterbacks like Sam Darnold, who was with the Jets. Now, he was in Minnesota and he had some success there. And then now he's in Seattle and, the teams that he's been on since leaving the Jets, he's been able to lead to success. And the same thing with Daniel Jones, another New York quarterback that is now leading the division leading Colts, a team that, has been in the conversation for a Super Bowl contender this year. And so I think, there's case by case, like you have to evaluate each situation, but I always love to see, especially at the quarterback position, players get another chance in a different situation where they're able to be more set up to succeed. And you see that throughout the league. And I mean, even with Baker Mayfield, like he's been around, he was really an open box special, I guess you could say, like first overall draft pick, didn't work out in Cleveland. He bounced around. He was in Carolina. I will never forget that one, week where he went to the Rams and he got there on like a Tuesday and they played on a Thursday night and he led them to a win. And, it's really it's a story about resilience. And so you see that a lot, in the NFL. And I think there's definitely a lot of room for these types of players, these open box deals. And so you don't want to miss out. You don't want to leave that box on the shelf thinking that it's spoiled goods, because it is not.
Exactly.
You don't know what you got there. You might have more than you even thought when it was new.
Exactly. And I probably wouldn't do this with food, like open box special, don't do this with food. But like Taylor said, case by case basis. There have been quarterbacks where the open box special hasn't worked out. You know, Justin Fields, it hasn't worked out, and he's been on 3 different NFL teams, I think now. Bears, Steelers, and now Jets. Don't know what's next, and so it is definitely case by case. It has not worked out for everybody. There are some people who've kind of just floated from team to team, and for whatever reason, it hasn't worked out. But I would say we've given a lot of great examples of why the open box special is good. And so I think it's a great opportunity for you this holiday season to check out those open box specials. We've got one more special coming up after the break, so you don't want to miss out. Welcome back to Not Another Football Show. We're talking about the gifts that don't get as much love because they're not the main course, like they're not the gifts underneath the tree. But the gifts and the stocking stuffers, those are elite. Those you can find the good gift cards, the candy, the snacks, lip glosses maybe. I mean, you gotta think of the smaller gifts, so they're not as good. And so I'm gonna give some love here to Bryce Young because he's had it rough. He's had it rough. And so obviously they're not, your most elite when you're looking at the top teams in the NFL. They're not the Patriots sitting at 10-2. They're not the Rams at 9-2. Like, they're not that. He's not that, obviously. But they're sitting at 6-6, which is way better than what we saw from this Carolina Panthers team any other year. Like, they were lucky to get 1 win, maybe 2 wins. And even, I think a couple games ago, he broke Cam Newton's, single passing game record. And so he's taking steps in the right direction. Obviously, they're not in the playoff mix right now, and I don't know if they'll get there this year. But this is a good sign. This is a stocking stuffer. This is improvement. It's something. It's something for me as a Panthers fan to see a glimmer of hope and be like, okay, maybe we did get something with our first round pick here. Maybe it's not a complete bust. Maybe we can build around him. Like, you're seeing something. And obviously there's been a lot going around him too he's had different head coaches and offensive coordinators and different things like that. It's not all on him. Not to mention CMC getting traded away. But so it's not all on him. But I had to give some love to a new NFL team that we don't usually talk about on this show that doesn't get as much attention. And that's why he's a stocking stuffer for me. The Carolina Panthers.
Yeah, I like that one. I feel like the Panthers, without Cam Newton was what kind of brought the hype around the Panthers more recently. And they kind of have faded into the afterthought now. And they obviously just haven't been good either. So definitely to see them put something together and not be like a team like the Jets, where it's another year where we're just winning 2 games and we are the cupcake on everyone's schedule. No, this is a team that you actually have to give some respect. And that's all that you want. Even if you're not going to the Super Bowl, even if you're not, as a fan, if your team can be competitive, then you can go either to the game or you could watch the game and feel listen, my guys are going to put up a fight, even if they're not the better team, even if they're not, a Super Bowl contender this year. That's all that you can ask for as a fan. Obviously, you want to see progression. And this is progression for that franchise. I don't know, you can't stay stagnant though. This is not the standard, of course.
Absolutely.
Every team wants to be competitive, but I agree that it is a nice little stocking stuffer for Panthers fans this year.
It is.
Another one, I think that not that it came out of the blue. I think it's something that we needed to see, and that the fans have been through it a little bit.
I'm curious what you're going to say.
The Chicago Bears, okay? Because the Bears, they're leading their division. They are looking good. I don't think that they're a Super Bowl team. I do think Caleb Williams needs to still take strides towards being the quarterback that he can be. But this Ben Johnson-led team is, in contention. They're making progress. They're doing well. And I think as a Bears fan, when you've suffered for so many years and that sports town is the real deal. Chicago sports fans are some of the best in the country, and they want a team that they can root for that is going to be competitive. And so I think, the wheels might fall off a little bit at some point, and, they're not going to go to the Super Bowl, in my opinion. But I do think that this is a very foundational year for that franchise to build on. And that, Caleb Williams has all the gifts, right? He has the physical ability, good teammate, And I think he just needs to, take time in this Ben Johnson system and continue to develop as an NFL quarterback. And he's making strides, obviously. But when you see the best of what he is, like if he can be that more consistently, I mean, this team is going to be great, for
Absolutely.
future years.
And
So,
it's definitely looking up compared to, we mentioned Justin Fields earlier. It did not work out there for him. And so
right.
it's good to see where Caleb Williams is right now. Like, I'm looking at their last 4 wins.
Mhm.
And these are close ones. Like, these aren't like they won by a mile. Like Pittsburgh, 31-28. Minnesota, 19-17.
Yeah.
New York, 24-20. Cincinnati, 47-42. Like, these are close wins, and
Right.
these games have been decided by a touchdown or less, and for them to come out with a victory is incredible. And they haven't all been at home either. Like winning in Pittsburgh, that's incredible.
Winning tough games. Like
Yeah.
that's again, it kind of goes back to the same thing with the Panthers, but you want your team as a fan to be able to be in tough games and not just roll over and be the lesser team and the team that just gets walked all over like we've seen with certain franchises. And so if you're a fan of a team that's just been bad for years and years and years, not, every year, they've had some years where they've been a little bit better in that time, but, as of recently, they haven't been as great, to have them come out and be a real football team that can win real games and you're excited to watch on Sunday. Like, I feel like that as a Patriots fan, and it really hasn't been that long since we've been dominant, but, I get excited now to like follow the team and watch games on Sundays versus, there were years where, and a lot of it was when we were covering the team, where you just didn't even like have fun watching their games because they weren't competitive. The product wasn't fun to watch. It was very crazy times, especially after, what you're used to. So when you're a fan and you have high standards for your team, and you want to see good football and entertaining football, like this is what it means. You need to be competitive, and you need to especially be competitive in those tougher environments and tougher games. Like
Absolutely. And so I don't know if you can fit a Chicago Bears jersey in your stocking. You might be able to. You might be able to.
If you roll it up.
You can roll it up.
Yeah.
So you heard us here first. Get your Bryce Young jerseys. Get your Chicago Bears, Caleb Wilson's jerseys.
Yeah.
Maybe, even we don't have enough time to actually dive into the Broncos. Maybe even get a Bo Nix jersey, roll it up in there, because I feel like they're in the same boat too with the Bears of completely turning around their franchise so you're actually getting excited about watching them because they're getting some wins finally. Mm-hmm. Those are some organizations. Seahawks too. You might want to.
Yeah.
Jerseys, good gifts this year for so many more teams. Like, it's not just the Chiefs who are winning. It's not just the Bills who are winning, the Ravens who are winning. There are other teams getting in the mix now, which is, I feel like, made the NFL more fun to watch this year.
It's been such a fun year. It really has, because the Chiefs are down, like no offense to Chiefs fans, but I think a lot of people do get sick of the same team winning. And I'm a hypocrite because I'm a Patriots fan. I did not get sick of my team winning every single year. But when it's not my team, I'm sick of them. But, I think like it's fun to see those teams get challenged, and it's fun to see other teams rise, and to really have it be like, all right, who is actually going to be in the Super Bowl this year? Because I think, it was always, all right, it's going to be the Patriots and somebody.
Exactly.
And then it became, it's going to be the Chiefs and somebody.
Exactly.
And now it's like wide open.
It's
I
wide
think,
open.
On both sides.
It's wide
so
open.
Great.
We love
so
it.
Great.
We love it. And I also love that all of you took the time to hang out with us, chat with us, get ready for the holidays with us. Hopefully this helped your Christmas list. Hopefully it helped you figure out what games you're watching over the holidays. And we hope you come back for another edition of Not Another Football Show. I'll have to bring Taylor back for Christmas so we can get those last minute shoppers done.
Love
but thanks so much for tuning in. Thank you, Taylor. And we'll see you next time.